Hey, what's up you casual nuts? So you've done the Buried Debts event, sealed fractures, fought Cold Mama Spooter and now you have Hildryn. Am I right? So let me introduce you to the Amazonian, the female warrior, the javelin, and Rhino's crush, Hildryn, the shield maiden. Let's talk about her abilities, interactions and passives before I show you how I've modded her. Hildryn does not have any energy pool at all. From the get-go you have zero energy, but she has a massive shield pool, and that's what makes her unique in her own. Her passive is shield gating, where you become invulnerable for a small time when her shield depletes to zero. However, this passive needs a certain condition to kick in, which is, you've got to have your shields at full for her passive to activate. She also has a different passive, a sub-passive of sorts, where she becomes invulnerable to all kinds of status effects that does damage to health. Her first ability is called Balefire, which is an exalted first ability, and it shoots shield rockets. It takes some shield from her pool and you can either do a click-click attack or charge it. Charging deals more damage. Her second ability is called Shield Pillage, where she throws out a pulse from her center, which travels up to a certain distance and then returns back to her after a certain time. Any enemy with shield or armor that gets affected by her pulse will get some of their shields or armor stripped, and a certain amount will be added to Hildryn's shield pool. This ability also gives her overshield. Her third ability is called Haven, where she links her shield with her allies, giving them access to shield gating, or to enemies, doing damage over time. This damage increases with the amount of armor or shield she has stripped, and it caps at a certain number. Haven is a constant drain ability which will keep depleting your shield over time. And finally, her fourth ability is called Aegis Storm, which upon activation makes her float and creates that awesome helicopter sound. She generates an area of effect around her which increases and decreases based on her distance from the ground. Enemies affected by her AoE get sucked up and lifted from the ground, getting damaged over time. The damage and the number of enemies depends on her distance or range. The higher she is, shorter her bubble, greater the damage, and less enemies get stuck. After coming out of this ability, she does a slam dunk attack which damages enemies. Now, let's talk about how I have modded her. Before I start talking about my build, I must inform you that I am a low MR player with a lot less hours in game as compared to other content creators. However, my builds are going to be efficient enough for you to do long endurance runs, and completely clear out the star chart, along with sorties. With that aside, let's dive in. I've modded my Hildryn in a balanced way, giving her a lot of shield, heavy shield regeneration, decent armor, some health, good power strength, and decent efficiency, but I did not touch duration. You can mod her for negative duration, but that requires using dual stat mods which you may not have, thus defeating the purpose of this video. Alright, enough chatter. I've given her redirection and steel fiber for shield and armor. You can use Umbral mods if you have them, but then you will have to forma her more than once. Please note, this is a one forma setup. I added Vigor for that extra boost of shield and health. Augur Secrets, Intensify, and Power Drift for extra strength. Streamline and Stretch for efficiency and range. I've chosen Corrosive Projection as her aura, because it adds to her Balefire build, which is a 50.1% status weapon with heavy corrosive damage. In her Balefire, I have opted to go with Fast Charge and Fire Rate, two dual stat mods to make corrosive elemental, namely, Jolt and Pistol Pestilence, and Convulsion with pathogen rounds to increase corrosive damage overall. If you don't have Jolt, you can replace it with any other elemental mod of your choice, or you can give Balefire a forma to add something else. I was cautious about modding her Balefire in such a way that any player can take advantage of this build without having to farm a lot, or invest platinum. Let's test this build with level 85 heavy gunners, which can be considered as high-level enemies. I will try to not burn them down with my primary weapon before showing out her interactions, and passive. This video is not for someone who is looking for a meta build, it's for those who don't have access to every mod, and for new players. If you liked this video, please break that like button, and smash that subscribe button, or hit dislike. No one will judge you. If you have any suggestions, or constructive criticism, please leave a comment, and if you want to join our Discord for some pleasant chats, the link is in the description. Alright, now I'll take your leave, and I wish you all the best for farming Hildryn if you haven't yet.